Woo! I'm feeling very exhausted. I was wondering if I was going to do my next podcast here, if I'm still going to be able to talk. I know I'm very exhausted, also mentally exhausted, and the fact that surprisingly I'm able to withstand 1 hour of coming back from the hike, while I'm still trying to get back to the parking site without water. Who knows? To me, it felt like it was a little more than an hour. So, yeah, I was thirsty to death. Not to mention the fact that it was humid. Oh boy, and I can feel my what's the word? Not my stomach, but I can feel my abdomen just feeling a certain way, like it's about to cramp. Simply because I haven't had water in like an hour. I mean, considering the humidity that has taken effect on me and hiking, hell, my shirt just sweated like a bitch as I was trying to head over to the Red Rock Canyon hike. And boy, yeah, it was just, look, it was a great hike. I actually enjoyed it, no doubt. It was great to go back to the Red Rock Canyon. This time I went in a different area. But yeah, man, I thought I filled my water pouch all the way, and it turns out I didn't. Because a lot of times when I do fill up my pouch all the way, whenever I'm done with hikes, they usually are still halfway, right? Or a little less than halfway. I mean, there's still some water left, right? As a lot of times that happens every time when I go hiking and all that. But with the case of this one, it's a rare instance that my pouch is already gone, like before I got to the break point of the hike, that only to find the water guys are just barely coming out. Like, it was so hard for me to even try to get some of that water into my water pouch. So I was very disappointed that I had to just tough it out the rest of the way. To my credit, I did. So yeah, man. But other than that, looking on the bright side, it was a hell of a hike, dude. I mean, I know the 3 guys that came up there, I bet you they must have been way at the top of that Red Rock canyon, like the top of the rock. That's probably why they told me life-changing views. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what they're saying, but I'm not willing to even go that far. But hell, I got myself a little bit of canyoneering experience, but I'm not an advanced hiker like that. I just like going hiking for fun. I'm just somebody that just likes to enjoy nature just for the sake of de-stressing from reality and just really enjoying the outdoors, whether it's by myself or with friends, right? I know I'm gonna have a late pig out session right now, and it was like that last time too. Just knowing that I took so long to get back because of my pace. And I'll tell you where I was really slow. I was really slow getting back on that incline. And that was the last incline on my way to, hold on. What's this dude doing? Okay, go. I know you're being impatient. So, oh my God, I missed it. But, no, I know an alternative. Look, man, it's one of those rare instances where I just did not have any water left, and I was still like in the middle of a hike. I was literally like still in the middle of the hike, and you know, after I reached the Four Corners break point, it was you know, oops, let me go this way. I gotta go to Chapman. Yeah, I still had to tough it out, or like one more hour. It felt like a little bit more than an hour, considering how much incline I had to deal with. And the last incline was when I really felt like my body was about to break down. I really felt my body just ready to break down, dude. Even my brain too. I could feel it. I had to constantly stop because I didn't have any water, and that's my mistake. Just when I thought that I filled it up and I didn't. So yeah, man, you know, I was coughing a little bit on my way out, or you know, on my way out of the street or out of the parking lot, and you know, I thought I was about to feel a cramp, but you know, I felt a little sensation on the abdomen, but you know, for the most part, I was okay. But sorry to go off tangent here, like I always do in all my videos. And this one, I want to touch on it. I'll touch on it after I'm done having lunch. Yeah, I know it's a late lunch right now, but first of all, I gotta read this quote off. Well, it was not a quote, but it's like, you know, per my conversation with the lovely Ivanka, aka Francesca. I'll call her Francesca in this particular video right here. So yeah, I'll come back. Is it open still, or is it closed? I don't see anybody there. Yeah, so I'll come back in a little bit. Okay. All right. Peace. All right. So just barely had my lunch. I know it's super late, and I filled myself up, more importantly, with plenty of liquids. Fanta orange, 0 sugar, of course. You know, all the sodas I've been drinking are 0 sugar. So yeah. So let me just get into the quote of what Ivanka said here, or I'm gonna call her Francesca in this case. This is the one I want to focus on. I will show it on the screen, or this one here. Just the first part that she said. So this is what Francesca said. Don't mind my response on that one. She said, just try to relax, Kuya. Do the chill. Like, do the dance. I know some people have told me to do the dance every time I'm feeling down, or do the rap, do the sing. Here she's like, do the chill. How cute. Don't post or do for appreciation. Do what you really want. You don't need to please. You don't need to please us. She meant, we are your friends. And the other part right here, I'm going to show it. It says this: friendship is not for likes and comments, Kuya. Always remember that. Yeah, so those are the ones that I really want to touch on. Don't mind my comments. I think this post was in 2022. Yeah. So let me just reflect on that as I'm about to leave and head home from what's been a very, very long hike. You know, it felt longer than that because the fact that I had no water for like more than 1 hour, that rare instance that I had. So I'll be sure next time to fill it up for the next time I'm going to hike that's pretty long. And I'm usually good at that. It's just this time I wasn't good at it. So so yeah, let me touch on the first part and what she said about to do the chill. It makes me miss Francesca, and I know she's one of my remaining friends. That you can see her on that template right there, the most recent one that has, I think, all of my remaining close friends. She's one of them. She's beautiful as always, just like Mari in there as well. So yeah, yeah, man. She's not the only one that said this, because I know for a fact that 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 Sam has told me as well about posting just because you want to not to attract attention from those, like just to get likes and comments and this and that. And Ivanka or Francesca has made that clear to me as well. So hey, in her case, she told me to do the chill. Do the chill, baby. You'll be fine. Just do the chill. Chill out. Do the chill. I get it entirely. And unfortunately, back then, since it was in 2022, that was in May of 2022, when I was still on Facebook then, my circle didn't really fall yet. It didn't start until later in 2022, and that's where, to where my, excuse me, hold up, excuse me again. Sometimes I gotta love drinking soda to where I just burp like that, just to be more entertaining in such podcasts. I'm just kidding. So look, yeah, it's no secret. I've been stubborn. Even Angel has told me this many times, or she's told me before, rather, that, when you post to gain likes, so many likes doesn't mean that you are loved. If I remember what she told me correctly, right? I think Rhea has also alluded to it, but likes and comments don't matter. Both of them said that to me. Hell, you know what? I should have listened back then, right? I didn't. And now that I'm out of social media, I've come to a very, very, I just had to learn it the hard way. And since I've already been out for a year, or, more than a year now, then, I just thought it'd be best that, that I thought finally I just came to realize that, these people were right, including her and Sam and Angel, Mari, even Julio told me way back in 2014 when my Instagram had issues with the hashtags and all that. I was all about that. I was like LeBron, I worry about stats. I worry about stats in that, I gotta check to see if I get this many likes and comments, I'm feeling great. I want all the attention. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I was very stubborn, very hot-headed, just willing to admit that I did not listen to them, because at that time I was just, really, really basing, when it comes to likes and comments and all that stuff. Hell, right now I can only depend on here as far as number of views, but then it's the way I see my views is, if I even just get one, fine. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not somebody that's trying to gain about like a million views and what have you. So I'm not somebody like that. Just to have a channel like this one, although I already have almost 380 subs, that that I'm trying to be somebody that's publicly recognized, and I get it. YouTube is huge, right? It's but I will say this though. I'm supposed to turn the other way, right? No, I think I'm good. I think I'm going the right way. Yeah, because I'm about to pass by Disneyland right now. So look, she's not wrong, right? And a lot of people have said the same thing as her, right? And for the most part, just she said it. Just post, not for appreciation. Just post what you want. I didn't listen to her in the first place. Now I'm really listening after once I started covering this very segment, right? So, yeah, I starting to go like going forward now. I'm just gonna do just that. I'm gonna be posting, even here when it comes to videos, like, or if I ever go back to social media and just posting whatever I want, just post not for appreciation, but just for just what you want, because you want to do it, and you like posting, have at it. It's it's not about likes or to gain likes or whatever. People like her said that we are your friends, and I didn't even listen, and I was a little more of a hothead at that time, because I was still big on that shit back then, even when I had my full circle. But she did say, you don't need to please your own friends, for stuff that you put up. We are your friends. That's what she said. You don't need to please us. We are your friends, right? So unfortunately, I just didn't listen to her back then, and for the most part, she is right on the money. It's just too bad that for somebody like me who has been stubborn and hot-headed, that at that time I still focused on likes and comments, right? That that's why I just I just did not listen. Even Angel knows that. So yeah, for the most part, yeah, she's right, and it's just now I'm learning the hard way. I'm not on social media for more than a year. I still got some other issues to deal with, like finding a new job, of course, and obviously trying to find my own personal space. But that's something I gotta deal with. But hey, shout out to Francesca. This truly inspired me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do as she tells me. I mean, I know there's some other people that have told me the same thing, but just worded differently. But I'll follow her. I'll just follow her command. Do the chill, baby. You don't gotta post just to please your own friends. Do the chill. We're here for you, even if we don't hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? So going forward on my videos, like I'll share to some of the guys like what I feel like, some that I think may be worth watching for them. Whether they choose to watch or not, that doesn't mean that they ain't gonna sub. They don't like me. Of course, they're my friends. You know what I'm saying? Let me touch on another part here of what she said. When it says friendship is not always for likes and comments. But yeah, remember that. This just ties into what she said on the first comment, because that is generally true. I mean, for friends like her, Mari, Sam, I'm talking about all the remaining ones. Friendship is not, I mean, there's gonna be some, or there'll be many that will like the posts, even if I tag. But even if I tag someone, you may choose to like or not like, and that's always been the case with just hold on, let me try to go over. Am I going south? No, I'm going north, so I better go on this side. Yeah, man. So whether I tag some people or not, or tag my own friends in some of our hangouts, like if I post them on Facebook or Instagram, or even here on my channel, I'm not expecting them to like, and that's just like what she said. Friendship is not always about us, not there for likes and comments and all that. So the reality is, friendship is not about quantity, it's about quality, right? I've said that in many occasions. I never changed my stance on it, so therefore I'm going to continue to stand by it for as long as I'm, for as long as I live, man. Because friendship is all about quality, and therefore, like what Francesca said, I shouldn't have to be forcing, friends to just like my stuff, and even if they're tagged on certain posts, even if it's something that they're passionate about or have you, they don't have to like, or they don't have to comment. That's just, people here, including her, are trying to make my life simpler and less stressful. So, by giving me these kind of pointers, and she ain't the only one. I know Sam has done it too, and I didn't listen to her. Angel and Rhea and Mari have told me this, the same thing too. Have given me the same pointer, those same pointers, just worded differently. I didn't listen. So now that I touched on this, I had given some thought to talk about it, and now that I did, now I better take it seriously because I talked about it. This ain't no regular Facebook post that I just, just mentioned like about, five of the same things in like one topic, like this, five posts of what is related to this one topic, 5 separate posts, when I can just talk about it here in like one. Hell, I'm doing some podcasting now, so why not just talk about it in its entirety, and I can go back to this anytime if I want to, right? Now I already set up a bunch of different playlists, including one, like after this video is done, that I'm gonna add it to the friend excerpts folder, because that's where I keep all the friend excerpts, and just having to reference them if I want to, or if I need to, right? So yeah, that's all I want to say about it, man. I hope Ivanka's doing well. I miss her too, and hopefully, I think I have her email, but I just don't know if she ever looks at it. I think I've emailed her once or twice before, and she's never responded. So now that I'm out of social media, email is pretty much the only communication at this point, for us, because I'm doing it with Mercy, although Mercy just rarely ever gets back to me, and so really Facebook is the only way, and I don't fuck with Instagram like that. It's boring to me, you know what I'm saying? I think I just have more to do on Facebook than I do on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's all I gotta say about it. So tell me what you guys think. I'm pretty close to heading home, and I gotta watch the rest of the Super Bowl. Peace. Thank you for watching, everyone. Like, share, and subscribe.